Now, the start of part 2 of what female Deku was Mangle. As they walk through the doors, heading into the building. Where are you? As the only one really know what they're looking for are the leaders of the 3 SWAT teams. Everyone else does not know what they're going after. As they're walking through, they're all taking a hallway. As Mangle's in the back of the building with what object she's gonna bring. As Foxy knows the teams are here. I'm gonna have to do something. Wait a minute. Question. Can you put your soul into other animatronics around the building? As he asks his Mangle. I don't know. I can try. Can you do that? We have some intruders we need to take care of. Alright. As her soul leaves from her body, animatronic body, and it goes to one of the laying down animatronics with a Mangle head, but has 2 arms and 2 legs like Foxy. As it gets up off one of the soldiers that was in the room, as he throws a soldier against the wall and strangles him, as Foxy is running through taking care of some of the SWAT. As there's some gunfire to be heard, as Mangle turns around after taking care of at least 2 SWAT members, as one of them shoots the animatronic she's in several times, as one eventually throws a grenade, blowing up the animatronic, as she goes into another one behind them, but this one having a sword near it, as she grabs the sword and slices the one that threw the grenade, as the other one pulls over and shoots his machine gun, doing nothing, as Mangle just throws the sword, going through the guy's head, as he falls to the ground. This is fun. As both of her eyes had turned dark with a white in her eye, and I will explain that whenever she succumbs to the dark side of her soul, her yellow eyes go completely dark, with the little white pupils in each side. As she's going around dealing with some, as Foxy's trying to fight, he's taking several injuries to his animatronic body due to the gunfire and some use of explosives. But if I know anything, animatronics can take one good beating from gunfire. As he sits down, as his animatronic body is heavily injured. Now what? There should be like another team in here. As Mangle shows up in one of the animatronic bodies, with the palms being soaked in blood and a weapon with blood. As she goes back to her normal self, saying, all taken care of. Good. As he's glitching out as his animatronic is slowly starting to defunction. I'm going to save power by turning off Mangle. I'm going to need you to take me to another location. And you'll have to try to repair me. But for me to keep my soul intact, I need to shut off the animatronic. Alright, Foxy, I'll take you to another location. Make sure it's away from the heroes. As she goes back to her body and goes to grab Foxy as she's dragging him through the forest, and just realized she doesn't know much about fixing animatronics, only the parts that Foxy had taught her. As she was walking through the forest dragging Mangle, or sorry, not Mangle, Foxy. She needs to find someone that knows how to fix animatronics. And I would say a day has passed as the heroes arrive to that location, as they see 3 vehicles outside. As they arrive, they see at least 4 to 6 people dead out the front door, as it was the guards guarding the vehicles. As they walk in, it was a slaughter, where a lot of them are pretty much cut, choked, cut, sliced, one having a sword through their head, one being stuck in a vent. As I saw one and all of them are trying to find out who could have done this. As Hawks is there as well. It's obviously the villain Foxy. Who's this Foxy? A villain known for killing a lot of personnel of the Hero Association. He's a villain that hunts down heroes, villains, everything. He'll even kill civilians. This is all the cover story, though. So, we need to take care of him. Arrest him. By the looks of it, he should have gotten injured. But why is there so many animatronic parts? As they walk through the building, Aizawa sees plenty of animatronic parts that have been shot up. Why would these be shot up, as he's thinking? As Mangle has used several animatronic bodies. As he thinks, why would someone shoot up this place? But then again, it's probably just the villains. As they grab whatever samples or any idea clues to where they can track them down. But for now, they've got nothing. The security cameras had been long since destroyed. No footage would be left. They don't know the existence of Mangle. They only know Foxy. Although, there's only one clue they've managed to get out from this, is that they found drag marks on the back of the building, indicating that something was dragged out. As Mangle is dragging Foxy, as she eventually finds a very large old building. As she drags Foxy in and sets him on a table in the building, and she decides to go exploring, as Foxy's going to be unconscious until either Mangle or someone else repairs him. As Mangle's just going through the entirety of the building. Now, where are you? Machines. As she then finds a huge room that looks like a factory, and several animatronics are inside. Why are there so many animatronics? And why do they resemble me? As she gets off the ceiling, and then walks to the control panel, as she just presses on the on button, and the screen turns on, showing just Mangle's image. Not this one, the original design of Mangle. Animatronic, similar to Foxy. As he's like, was this place made to make animatronics similar to mine? If that's so, I can just switch my soul between all of them. Yes, that'd be a brilliant idea. And I would have friends. So she, again, is trying to work and get the system to work for this old facility of some sort. And it'll take a little bit, but then she realized, I need to find someone to fix Foxy. Who could fix Foxy? As then she sees a TV and decides to turn it on. As she then starts to watch several stuff, as then she hears something about the support class for UA. Support heroes? What are those? As then they hear Mei Hatsume, who is... I believe it's Mei Hatsume, right? I'll find out. No, Mei Hatsume was... The one girl that had the, what was it? The one that made and called all of her inventions, what, babies or something like that? Had a lot of technology skills. Maybe she can fix Foxy. Yeah. I'll see if she can fix Foxy. But for now, let's make some friends. As she goes back to the panel and trying to just turn on the systems to create more animatronics like her, also considered friends, and realize Mangle still has a child's mind, even though in the reports, she's technically been dead for some time, a few years. Her consciousness had risen after several years later. As she's thinking, how would I be able to hit someone if they're in UA? If I remember, Foxy did mention something about UA. It was the most fortified place? Or something. Maybe there's someone else. Again, I'm sorry if I can't remember every My Hero name. There's just so many characters for the series. As she's still thinking, for now, I'll just get some friends and they can go do it. It'll make it easier. After all, Foxy did say it's funner to have more people than two. As she managed to turn on the factory, or technically factory, as it's making more mangle animatronics. As then for a minute, as her soul pops out, as she's flying through the facility or whatever, the building, just looking through every animatronic and the place as well, admiring all the other Mangles designs. As she finally finds one that's a different color than her design. This one is fully pink and white. I wonder, could I make a human design? As she thinks, as she goes into the one of two hands, and that's pretty much like the original design of Mangle. As she goes to the computer and starts typing, as she makes some code and all that, as she's making a humanized robot that will look like her, but yeah, it'll just look like her, so she can go out in public without being noticed. As she presses enter, as it says, since it's an old building, it's gonna say 3 days until completion. Fair point. It's a more complicated design, I think. Oh well. Better get some sleep. As she goes back into her original body and goes into the vents and powers off. As she's going to sleep for quite some time. As we just go to the heroes of talking about UA. And I'm gonna say the USJ has already happened in this timeline. So they're talking about the sports festival, upcoming sports festival. As Aizawa brings up something. Someone just doesn't feel right. What do you mean? Sorry, I'm thinking of this case that has happened recently, where we found a lot of dead SWAT in a building. Really? Yes. Although it's quite difficult to determine where all the SWAT came from. and also who sent them, but they were obviously something connected with the Hero Safety Commission. But they were all killed and massacred. This was no work of someone that had... It's the work of someone that knew how to take care of them. Someone like they had dealt with it before. Let's not focus on that. The sports festival is coming up. I guess you're right. We probably should focus on those matters. As he decides to go through reports on some events that have happened that's connected to Foxy. So we go to his office where he has a board connected with some dots, and to where it has a picture of just regular Izumi when she was a child. As in the reports it says Izumi was a Foxy victim, when in reality, Foxy just took her body and managed to save her soul. But boy, his first crime was indicated around the time of Nana Shimura's death, saying that he was responsible for several heroes' deaths. Something just doesn't add up. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. That's probably it. As he's thinking, I better prepare for the USJ. As he decides to add some more cameras around the facility just to be safe and talk to the students. As several hours had passed, as it's night. As he was just wandering around on patrol, as he noticed something. A machine. As it enters somewhere. As he sees it. As he hops down and follows the machine. As he opens and sees nothing. I thought I saw something. As then out of nowhere, something metal hits his head. As he falls down unconscious. That was close. Better not draw suspicion. I don't want the heroes to find me. As she leaves, with some parts to help fix Foxy. And I'm just going to end that part off there, part 2. And I am doing a live stream on this as well, where this live stream will have probably 3 parts, or just these 2. And I'll continue the story on the next live stream. I hope y'all enjoy What If Female Deku Was Mangle, part 2. I will be doing this on another live stream, where I'll be doing part 3. I hope y'all enjoyed part 2 of What If Female Deku Was Mangle.